Welcome back, everybody. For those of you who are new, my name is Hannah, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how to photograph mental health. This is a different topic than what some other photographers tackle, which is completely fair. What I want to show you and really emphasize today is how you can capture your mental health. Rather than capturing mental health as a whole, because it is just so different, we're going to focus on how we can tell our own stories through the art of photography. So let's get started. Everything we do today will be with a phone camera. Reason being is I know a lot of people don't have actual DSLRs, and that's completely fine. So I really want to emphasize that everything I'm teaching today and for future classes, videos, podcasts, it can all be done with a phone camera, which is super cool. Most cameras that come with phones, they have timers, they have rear-facing and portrait-facing cameras, which makes all of this super easy. The biggest thing that we're going to remember, though, is we're photographing mental health in the way that we see it and not the way that we think the world sees it. That's the big kicker here, because a lot of people know how the world sees mental health, and that's not what we're going for. We're going for the educational side of how we see mental health. So let's get into it. Like I mentioned, everything we're going to do today is going to be done through a phone camera. So I'm going to screen record everything that we're going to be doing. That way you have an idea of how I'm doing it and exactly what I'm doing, which is going to be great for you guys for learning. So today we're just going to take a few simple photos by the window, and then I'm going to show you how to edit them, and then I'm going to let you do whatever you want from there. And if you found something or created something that you're like, yes, this is how I can express me, then fantastic, send it my way. In the link below the video or in the description of the podcast, I'll also have a attachment where you can go see some other window shots that I've taken for mental health, just to give you some more inspiration and stuff like that. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my screen recorder on. Great, we got that going. Next, I'm going to flip it in so you can see me now, which is great. It's already on portrait mode. Now, I do have the softbox up here, but you don't have to have one of those. I just use it because when I'm sitting at my computer, it's easier for me to just be seen, which is great. So make sure I get my hair all done, nice and nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play with the reflection of the window a little bit to try and enhance my photos and make it more personable, make it have a little more of a personal touch, feels a little bit more, right? So we can see that my reflection's in there. I can lean. I also have my reflection on the board right here, which is great. So the next thing what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna snap a few photos, not looking directly at the camera because that makes it just feel a little bit more. Change my head position a little bit. I can drop my arm, just snapping some. I take a fair amount because I find that's what works the most, is you take a lot and then you figure out what you want to do after that. So if I also wanted to do just like a nice one, I can drop and do like one where I'm looking at myself. I'm actually on my knees right now. So I can also get down and just pretend like I'm chest tight and not actually kneeling. So we can do one like, and I'll actually hold my phone here on the windowsill just to make it a little bit better. And I'll bring it a little bit closer, see if we can get some more of that reflection in there. Take some more photos. Yeah. So, super easy to do. When you're playing with reflections, it's so easy to be able to create something cool because there's that add a little bit of touch that you have. So I could also, and I'll show you how to do this eventually, but I could do one photo where my face is sad behind the reflection, and then another one where my face is happy. And I can merge the two together in order to make something so that the reflection is sad and my face in real life is happy, and it's just a combination of the two to make it look that much more real, as if my personal self, my mental health self, was stuck behind the glass and wanted to be out, and it was being covered by the happiness, the faking, the pretending like everything's okay, the living on with life, because that's how I would start all of this. It's super easy to do. Find a window. It doesn't have to be a bedroom window. I chose a bedroom window because I have cats and roommates, and it gets pretty noisy and chaotic out there. So I'm using my bedroom window today, but you can use a living room window, you can use a screen door. But I want you to practice using glass to your advantage. It doesn't necessarily have to be a window, you could also use a mirror, but I want you to focus on using glass to your advantage and try and play in on, like, maybe there are raindrops or freezing rain, or maybe you're just gonna spray the window with a bottle of water to give it some texture. Make it feel a little more alive, but use the basics of just the window, right? Every home has windows, so start with that and see where you can go. And then from there on, we can work on editing it to our delight. So that will be the next step. Now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the editing side of things. So I've already chosen the photo that I like the most out of all the ones taken, and I'm going to edit just this one photo today so you get an idea of how I do it, and then you can go from there with your photos. So I start off by going into my phone's editor app, and I typically go with black and white when I'm doing window photos because they just have more feeling, if that makes sense. Nope, don't want to save it, don't want to crop. And then I go into the adjustments, and I just fool around with those a little bit. Can make them darker, lighter. I'm a big contrast person, so I really like how adding a little bit of contrast in black and white photos make them look more sharp. And then I pop down into vignettes, add a little bit, not so much that it's like super noticeable, but just enough to soften up the edges, and then I am done. And what I become left with is this gorgeous photo of me looking out the window. We have the raindrops, we have the sparkle in both of my eyes. I'm kind of in a little bit of pain. You can just see that there's frustration there, and that's not a lie. Sometimes there is, not gonna lie. I do this photo here because I really like this photo, and I like how it captured the lower part of my face on the windowsill and the reflection. I appreciate that little bit of detail along with the raindrops and just the emotion in my eyes. You know it's a real thing because it's not somebody else telling me to put the emotion there, it's myself, right? I'm just being myself. I'm trying to capture how I'm feeling in certain moments. This last week has been pretty exhausting between exams and papers and personal life and work. So this photo is kind of a great representation of how I'm feeling and how grateful I was to have the last 2 days to not have to leave my house and just get work done at my own pace, sleep as much as I needed to sleep, take naps. So this photo I really appreciate because I know I needed today and yesterday to just be able to chill. And I'm sure you all have those feelings as well. And a little bit, not too much. Just a little bit of pop there, and that'll, I was gonna say make it pop, but that's the setting. That'll make it pop. And I think that's it. We're gonna click done, save as copy, and there we have it. Another great photo, and I really do. The more I look at it, the more I love the reflection on the windowsill. It's more than the part of my shirt you can see in the window. It just makes it, it completes it, and I am just in awe of it. I'm actually very proud of myself for this one. But as you can see, you don't need an expensive camera to do something. This is like a cheap Google phone, And I can do this, so I know whatever you have with you, you can create masterpieces. You just have to take the time to do it. But I believe in you and I know you can get there. Photography is a wonderful coping mechanism, and to be able to shoot sometimes really allows you to just release the feelings that you don't necessarily want to otherwise. And it's a huge reason why I love photography, but like cell phone photography is still photography, right? I'm not going to sell a lot of the photos that I take with my phone, but they're still great photos. And it's still a way for me to be me and to just release all of my mental energy into something I love. And it's awesome. I love it. And that's why we're here. So I hope you enjoy all of this as much as I do. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so we can continue this journey together. And like I mentioned before, there's a link below so you can see some other reflection photos that I've taken as a little inspiration. I wish you all good luck, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye!